Hello and welcome to another episode of Big Daddy D's Wrestletude. And yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen, it is another episode. Like I promised, we're going to make this a weekly thing. And this week, it's a pretty good big show. Not only do I have Monday Night Raw results and Smackdown results, but I also got the predictions for Extreme Rules this Sunday. Yes, sir, the 2017 Extreme Rules. I've got the match lineup. I got the card. I'm going to give you my predictions, what I think is going to happen. And then to top it all off, we have a little bit of wrestling news, wrestling world news. So let's start this thing off with Monday Night Raw, the flagship show. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pretty interesting Monday Night Raw, to say the least. It was the Memorial Day edition. Now, if you look back at experience, usually I don't know about Memorial Day, but yeah, Memorial Day and 4th of July and special like holidays like that, usually there's something big happens usually on Raw, or it's a pretty good Raw. It's not like a regular Raw usually. So this week had a couple good things happen. First of all, we had Samoa Joe in a triple threat match with Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. This was a pretty good match to watch. I highly suggest you watch it if you have not watched Raw, or if you just are used to fast forwarding Raw, which I'm not gonna lie, I've been known to do recently. Wrestling's not been the best, and I'm sure a lot of other people are doing that as well. Here's the thing, this match was pretty good. Some good back and forth. It was really anybody's game who was gonna win it. I thought maybe Finn Balor was going to go in winning this thing because, and I'll get to that a little bit later on, but I didn't think he was going to lose it because I think he needs the momentum. But even though he did get the finishing maneuver on Bray, Samoa Joe took it. This was a pretty good match. And if I was to grade this match, this was definitely I would say a solid B. This was a solid B match. Pretty good, but not as good as a match later on that I'm going to talk to that happened on Monday Night Raw. Let's get on to another thing. Of course, this big this Goldust R-Truth thing, this tag team separation, coming out of left field. Didn't really see that one coming, I'll have to say. But the question is, do we really care? Now, Goldust at one time was, a great Intercontinental Champion. I even think he maybe should have had a run with the WWE title. Maybe not that long of a run, but definitely one of those that more than likely should have been a WWE champion at some point. Now, fast forward, it's 22 years after his debut as Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, Reynolds, and he's in phenomenal shape. I'll say that he's in the best shape he's ever been, I think. But it's just like he doesn't have that same aura, the Goldust aura. He's trying to bring it back. Like he said, the age of the golden age begins again, and whatever. Okay, but you're taking on R-Truth, and he's really, he's your he's a solid C performer, R-Truth. I hate to say it, but he is. I don't really see where what the point of all this is, where it's going to go from here. Obviously, they're going to fight. I haven't heard if they're going to fight Extreme Rules, you would think, but they haven't mentioned that. But it's obviously going to be fighting going on. Maybe it'll be in a pre-show. I'm not sure. But there was the little vignette going on there that, Goldust and then R-Truth, doing the Pulp Fiction the Pulp Fiction lines and stuff from Jules, Samuel Jackson's part. It was pretty funny. I don't really know how to feel about this, honestly, to tell you the truth. It doesn't really interest me that much. There's a little bit of a nostalgia feel with Goldust that I kind of like, but I just don't really. I don't see this going anywhere for like a long program or anything like that. But you know, we'll see where this goes. I'm kind of interested to see if this will go anywhere. You know, maybe this will be like a resurgence for Goldust. Maybe get back in an Intercontinental title picture or something. You know, but we'll see. You know, I don't know. Next, I want to go to something that did not land at all, in my opinion, my personal opinion, and that is the Alexa Bliss "This Is Your Life" thingamajiggy for Bayley, kind of her version of The Rock's and Mick Foley's "This Is Your Life." It did not land. It just wasn't that good. Which is a shame because Alexa Bliss is she's kicking it lately. I'm really surprised. Her mic work is really good. Her skills are good, getting better. But this just did not land very well. Bayley got some good stuff out of it. Some good hits there on Alexa to get to tease their huge match, their kendo stick on the pole match. But this was very uncomfortable, I believe, for Bayley and her husband. I read that because I think he made a joke about it, but it was a little uncomfortable. It just didn't hit. And with the whole boyfriend thing and whatever, it just wasn't I don't know. I thought it was a waste. I don't think they needed to do it. But I mean, I'd like to know what you guys think about that. Did you enjoy it? Because I don't know. I thought it fell flat on its face. So not happy with that one. Now here's another big developing story. It's pretty obvious what's happening here, but of course we have the Big Cass and Enzo thing going on. Every week now, Enzo's knocked out, and Big Cass, somebody knocked him out. Who was it? Will I find out who it was? It's very predictable that it's going to be Cass, and he's going to turn heel, and more than likely it's going to be Enzo versus Big Cass at SummerSlam in some kind of a match, which of course Big Cass is going to win because Vince McMahon likes his big, strong men, and Big Cass will get that. We'll get that, but hopefully we'll get that that nod from Vince. But hopefully Enzo gets a nod as well because nobody can talk on that mic like Enzo. And I think wrestlers like the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels has proven you don't have to be the biggest guy in the yard to be one of the best. And Michaels, not only, his wrestling skills are way better than Enzo ever was, but if Enzo works on it more, he's got the persona and the charisma. He's got that checked out. But he needs to check on the wrestling part. I think after this program he does with Big Cass, which I think is going to be what's going on, I believe he should maybe go to 205 for a while, maybe become the Cruiserweight champion eventually, and see where that takes him. But I think that's where he should go after this, because I know if he stays after this build and Big Cass wins, he's going to start to get buried, and this is very bad. We can't do that because Enzo, he's got a lot of charisma, and it'd be really a waste just to see him fall down the tubes and just get put in the shuffle like some other wrestlers. But it was pretty predictable. If you remember last week, Corey Graves stated that he'd like to shake the hand of the person that knocked Enzo unconscious. Well, ironically enough, he shook Big Cass's hand to apologize, but I think that's obviously tongue-in-cheek. We know it's going to be Big Cass. I know they want to make it look like it's the Revival, but I don't think it's going to go that way. Lately, the whole Big Cass Enzo thing has been falling on its face. It's not what it was a year ago when they were really the hottest tag team around. Don't get me wrong, they're very popular, but it's obviously the top faces on Raw are the Hardys, and I personally thought they should stay together and they should have moved to Smackdown and became the guys there. But whatever, WWE wants to do, or Vince or whoever the hell wants to do what they want to do, and they kept them on Raw. I don't think that was a good idea. I didn't understand it because I knew they were going to get lost in the shuffle, and it did happen. Now, One thing I'm angry about if they do split up already is they never even got a title run yet, and it's a shame. They should at least got a title run together, and doesn't look like it's going to happen now. Maybe someday they come back together somehow, do the old two dudes with attitude like Diesel and Shawn Michaels did. You know what I mean? Come back and become tag champs. I don't know. That's just me, just hoping. But I don't see it. I don't see that happening. The thing is, Big Cass is very high on Vince McMahon's list. And though he's not ready yet to be the man, I'm sure he's being groomed right now. So I think that's where that's going. Next, the main event. I want to talk about the main event on Monday Night Raw. And this is a match that I was extremely pleasantly surprised about. And that, of course, is Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins. Now, I can hate Roman Reigns as much as anybody. Everyone knows that. He's the one guy I can't stand. Because I just never thought he had the charisma. So, yes, I was very pleasantly surprised by this match. Like I said, Roman Reigns, not a guy I'm too hyped up about, to say the least. But in these past couple months, I will say he's gotten better. I'm not going to lie. I got to give credit where credit is due. He has gotten better in the ring. The mic still needs plenty of work on, but he has gotten better in the ring, and that's a good thing. Now, him and Seth Rollins, I have to admit, it was a fantastic match, especially for a Monday Night Raw. This was I don't want to say WrestleMania main event caliber match. It was good. I would say this would be like a Survivor Series or SummerSlam main event caliber match. That's how good it was in my book. A lot of back and forth, and it was a completely clean win from Roman Reigns onto Seth Rollins. And tell you what, I didn't hate it. I love Seth Rollins. He's obviously, I always I like to wear my Kingslayer shirt. I should wear it all the time. I love that shirt. But he didn't come on top in this match, but that's okay. I think he showcased a lot. I think he, if you think about it, last year when he came back, he beat Roman Reigns for that WWE Championship at, was it Battleground? Was it Battleground? I think it was Battleground. I'm not 100% sure that. It may have been, no, was it Battleground? Call me out on this. Was it Payback? I think maybe it was Payback. We have Payback. That's what it was, I think. But anyways, yeah. No, maybe it was Battleground. Call me out on this. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. But, which was a good match. And, oh, no, you know what? It was Money in the Bank. I remember now because immediately after he won, Seth Rollins, he ended up losing it right away because Dean Ambrose cashed in his Money in the Bank he won earlier that night. Now I remember. Thinking. He returned, I believe, at Payback and beat the crap out of Reigns at the end of his match with AJ. I believe that's what happened. Okay. Anyways, back to the match. Great match, great back and forth. Roman Reigns got him, with that spear finally. Now, I was very hyped up about this match. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. I'm going to give this match a grade. That's how good it was, too. This is going to get a A. Not an A+, but it's definitely going to get an A. There it is, A. Great match. Highly suggest you watch it. Very good match. Now, I do have an issue with Seth Rollins lately, and that's his finishing maneuver. He keeps switching finishing maneuvers. I get it, he's not using the pedigree as his finishing maneuver anymore because he broke away from that whole Triple H thing. He slayed the king. He doesn't need to use his finisher anymore. But I don't know. I think his knee thing is pretty weak. Or he needs to kind of make it more dramatic. If you look at the move that it's the same move Kenny Omega does. Okay, here you can watch it right here. Okay, look at that impact that Kenny Omega does when he does that move. Bam, that looks awesome. And Seth Rollins' move, which he's trying to emulate there, is not as good as that move. I hate to say it. Listen, Seth Rollins is my favorite guy right now in the WWE. Him and Nakamura, of course, and AJ. Those are my three guys. But I can't forget Aleister Black, of course. Okay, those are my 4 guys. But I just think he needs to, if he's going to keep it, he's going to have to make it more dramatic, like a Kenny Omega. If not, come up with something else, because you know, you're the top guy, one of the top guys. You need to have that move. It sucks that they won't let him have that curb stomp anymore. That was an awesome freaking move, okay? And I know my friends, my people in WWE 2K17, I still use the curb stomp as his main finisher, and a lot of other people I know do too. I think that should be his finisher. Anyways, that's for another day. But yeah, Monday Night Raw, very pleasantly surprised about this week. I would give this show, Monday Night Raw this week, as a whole, a B+ show. Great show. Haven't seen a show this good for Raw in a long time. So now it's time for the Smackdown review. Here we go. Tuesday's Smackdown. And we started this thing off with the Kevin Owens highlight reel that he stole from Chris Jericho. And Shinsuke Nakamura was his guest, or as he likes to call him, the Rockstar. Now, I had a little bit of an issue. I love Shinsuke Nakamura, like I said. But it was very hard for him to come. His English is not very good. And I just think he may have talked a little too much, because he can't pronounce certain words right. It just comes off kind of very corny when he says it, because he doesn't even know the proper way of saying these words and like what context. It wasn't terrible, but I don't know. I think he needs to work better on his English. I think that, you know, he's got more charisma than anybody there in the company, or any wrestling company, you know, but he needs to work on his English better. I think he should definitely invest in some of that teaching, going to school for that, honestly. But, you know, besides that, you know, then we ended up having, those two were going at it, and then we ended up having Baron Corbin come out, and listen, I get it. Baron Corbin, one day, he'll maybe be one of the top guys. Maybe. He's not there. He's not there. He's a pretty impressive guy. He's a pretty tall guy. I can vouch for him. He's a little shorter than me, which is pretty tall. He's got the look. His wrestling skills are not bad. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Mic skills need to work on tremendously. He's very lacking on that, and that's a big part. Okay, that's a big part of this. I just don't think he should have been put in this Money in the Bank match, you know. But whatever. Then we had Finn Balor come out, and they set up this huge tag team match. You know, Owens teaming up with Baron Corbin against Shinsuke and Sami Zayn. Now, I had an issue. It was a pretty good match. It wasn't bad. It was, you know, I'm not a big fan of tag matches in general usually, because I think there's too many of them. But I had an issue where this is now I think, yeah, the second time that that Kevin Owens has lost to Shinsuke Nakamura, pinning him. I think they should have went one-on-one, like 1-1, like last time Shinsuke won, this time Owens won. I think it kind of makes Owens look a little weak right now. So I think what's going to end up happening out of this is there's definitely going to be a program between Owens and Nakamura after Money in the Bank, more than likely for the United States Championship. I'm not going to give my my prediction on who's going to win the Money in the Bank yet. I'll do that for the Money in the Bank prediction show on Big Daddy D's Wrestletude. But anyways, the match wasn't bad. Like I said, Nakamura did get the pin over Owens. So next, we were going to have our 5-woman fatal 5-way match, and the winner was going to face Naomi, the SmackDown Women's Champion, at Money in the Bank for the title. Well, that ended up being a clusterfuck. No, it didn't even take place, and it was obvious it wasn't going to happen because it went into that whole fucking battle, you know, with everyone. And Shane comes out, and it was obviously what he was going to do. and he announced the official very first women's Money in the Bank match. And okay, cool, you know, that's cool. But now Naomi doesn't have an opponent for Money in the Bank. So what? She's just gonna sit with championship, not doing anything? Stupid. Not a good idea. I would at least name, you know, maybe like that night. Now, if I was doing this is how I would write it. You guys are gonna have your match, okay? And but Naomi will still have an opponent. Now, I'm sure they could have picked somebody to take her on, like maybe even if it was Lana making her debut, to take her on at Money in the Bank. It just doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe, call me crazy. Anyways, this should be interesting. Should be fun watching these girls take it on in that ladder match. So we'll see what happens there. Now, I want to talk about something I'm not a fan of, and I'm probably in the minority here, but this is coming from an old school wrestling fan. All right, this fashion police thing, it's horrible. It's horrible. It was funny like the first episode or two, and then it just got overdone, and then the matches sucked that you had, and now you're doing this whole thing where there's some weird gay vibe now between Fandango having a crush on Tyler Breeze, and nothing. There's anything wrong with being gay, but it's just stupid. You're wasting their talent on this stupid gimmick. You know, I don't understand why. It just seems like all the awesome stars who come from NXT end up, most of them, getting buried when they come to WWE. It's like Vince says, "No, fuck you, Triple H. This is what I think was going to happen. This is how I want it done." See, Tyler Breeze, he has the charisma, he has the skills, and it's a shame because he's not being used properly. And this guy, I believe, and I still believe deep down, he has it. He has that it factor, and possibly he could be a world champion down the line. But that's not going to happen now if they keep doing this stupid thing. I just don't like what's going on. I just don't. It's really stupid. It's not funny anymore. It's Fandango walking around with, and now he's a private detective, and he's got, what is that, a super soaker or some kind of laser gun baloney? I don't know what the heck that was. It was so stupid. Like, what are we doing here? Not a fan. Not a fan at all. Listen, next I want to go to something else, and that is Randy Orton's promo on SmackDown. Very stupid. Very stupid. Very boring. Very boring. Nothing new here. It's the same old shtick from Randy Orton. And then we had the new champion, Jinder Mahal, on the screen. Couldn't even come there in person, to do something, which was kind of stupid. And Randy Orton went in this whole shtick about, oh, my grandfather wouldn't be disappointed that I lost to Jinder Mahal, and blah, 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 blah. My father this, blah, 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 blah. We're Ortons. Like, shut up already. I don't even care what you have to say, Randy Orton. It's bullcrap. I'm just hoping, because they're going to have a rematch at Money in the Bank. I'm hoping and praying that Randy Orton doesn't win that title back from Jinder Mahal. What's the point of that? That was stupid. Stupid booking if they do that. You finally got a new champion, and this champion now is not even going to be, he's going to be a paper champion pretty much. Only lasts 1 month, and give the title back. You're finally making a new star. Don't ruin it. Keep that title on Jinder Mahal. Okay. So that's how I feel about that one. Next, this was the main event of Smackdown. AJ Styles versus Dolph Ziggler. And just like Raw, this was another phenomenal match. No pun intended, AJ. This was a phenomenal match. Both brought it to the table. Some great chemistry here. I'm telling you, I wish I would have saw this match at Backlash when they came instead of the stinkers that they had. Both of the guys. I was surprised that Dolph Ziggler cleanly beat AJ Styles. That was a total surprise. I like it because maybe WWE's got some more faith in Dolph Ziggler again. But it's like, I think is it too little, too late? I mean, you you do this, you get him back up there where he's main event caliber, but then what ends up happening is you bury him again and he gets back down on the roster and everybody forgets about him. You've done it so many times, so what are you doing, WWE? I hope this actually is going to be something now with Dolph, because it's a shame, because he is awesome. He's got a lot of charisma. He's got the skills. He has a love for this industry. So we're going to see what happens there, but that match was pretty awesome. I'm going to give that a B-. Great match. Yeah, so that was a Smackdown review, which means now we head to the Extreme Rules predictions. Yes, sir. This Sunday night, Extreme Rules, ladies and gentlemen. 2017 Extreme Rules coming from Baltimore, Maryland. And right now, these are the 6 confirmed matches that are happening. First, we're going to have ourselves a tag match between Sasha Banks teaming up with Rich Swann to take on Alicia Fox and... Alicia Fox, as Noam Dar likes to say, and Noam Dar as her tag team partner. Stupid. That's all I'm going to say. Stupid match. I feel so sorry for Sasha Banks because she's being buried. She's being buried right now. What is she doing here in this horrible tag team match? Sasha freaking Banks, the boss. She had legendary matches with Charlotte, that feud and everything. Now, the insiders tell you that Vince McMahon isn't very high on Sasha because he considers her very injury prone and doesn't want to put all the hype on her right now until she proves herself otherwise and she stops getting injured. So she's kind of having to pay her dues again, which sucks. Now, in this match, more than likely, I'm going with Sasha Banks and Rich Swann. They're going to win this thing. It's pretty easy. That's what's going to end up happening. It's, this is probably going to be on maybe the pre-show. I don't know. But that's how I feel about that one. Next, the Cruiserweight Championship in a submission match. Neville takes on Austin Aries in their 3rd confrontation. And this, they put on some hell of good matches. Put on good matches at WrestleMania. I think 3rd time's a charm. I think Austin Aries is finally going to win that Cruiserweight Championship. Call me crazy, but I think it's going to happen at Extreme Rules. We'll see. But that's who I'm picking. I want Neville to win because I love Neville. He is the king of the Cruiserweights. And I don't think he should be losing any momentum right now. But I have a sinking feeling it's going to be Austin Aries. So, next, a steel cage match for the Tag Team Championships. The Hardy Boys versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Oh, man. This is hard. I do believe, though, that the Hardys are going to keep the championship. I think they're going to beat Cesaro and Sheamus. I know I heard that this match, originally they wanted it to be a TLC match, but there's too many like ladder matches and stuff like that for this event that they don't want to water it with just another ladder match or whatever. So they're not making a steel cage match, but I think the Hardys are going to win it. I'll probably do some crazy, Hardy splash, swan dive off the cage or something like that. But I think they're going to retain the title. I'll be surprised if they lose it. I really will be. Next is the Kendo Stick Women's Championship on the pole match. Wow. Oh, man. You're going to think I'm crazy, but I think Bayley's going to come out on top and win that title back at Extreme Rules. Okay, I'm 70% positive. I'm not 100%. I'm not 90. I'm not 80. I'm 70%. I think it's going to end up being Bayley. But I wouldn't personally do any money bets because I'm not sure. But that's who I'm leaning towards. I think it's going to be Bayley. I think she's been getting the crap beat out of her and messed with her enough where it's time to have Bayley succeed over Alexa Bliss. So that's what I think is going to end up happening. Unless, of course, it doesn't, and Alexa's henchwoman what's her name? Nia Jax ends up screwing over Bayley when she climbs the ladder. That might end up happening. But I don't know. I'm going with Bayley for this one. So there you go. Next, IC Championship match. Dean Ambrose versus The Miz. Here we go. I believe this is supposed to be a stipulation match, but I don't think it's been told yet what it is. Oh, God. I tell you what. I want to see The Miz win it. I don't know if he's going to. This is a hard one for me to say who's going to win. I'm going to lean towards Dean Ambrose, but I want The Miz to win it. And then what needs to happen is Dean Ambrose needs to turn heel immediately, because every momentum he has and everything is out. It's stale. His gimmick is stale as hell. He needs to turn heel and truly be that lunatic fringe and not just the saying or a moniker. Okay, but I think Ambrose is going to take this one. Next, the main event, the Fatal 5-Way. Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor, okay, Seth Rollins, and of course, Samoa Joe. Those are the 5 guys. Main event. Oh, man, this is going to be very hard. This is a hard one. This is a very hard one. But I think in the end, the person that's going to take this is Finn Balor, ladies and gentlemen. They've been teasing it with Paul Heyman. I think Finn Balor is going to win this, and he's going to take on Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire, the next Raw pay-per-view in July. That's who I think is going to end up winning it. Could be wrong, but that's the safe bet, I think, here. But we'll see. Okay, so that's the Extreme Rules predictions. And we'll see how many I got wrong, how many I got right. Okay? Now, you know what time it is? Wrestling World News! Yes, sir. What is the news in wrestling this week? Well, there's not too much anything new going on. There are a couple things. First of all, which I forgot to mention in the last Wrestletude and Wrestling World News episode, Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins is trying to buy the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. He was a surprise guest at JR's one-man show, the comedy show, when we went to Rosemont. I forgot to say about that, and he was talking a little bit about that. He said negotiations were really good, and it looks like it's going to be done. But things don't look so good now. Apparently, there's an issue where the owner doesn't hold all the rights to the belt and the video library or something like that. Anyways, it's looking to be a real clusterfuck right now, and it's not for sure that Billy Corgan's going to be the owner of NWA anymore. We'll see what happens. Well, right now, it is definitely not as positive as it was. As the weeks go on, we'll see if it ends up happening. It's a shame. Billy Corgan is a true wrestling fan. I don't know if many people know that. Since he was a kid, he was talking at JR's wrestling show about a lot of old wrestlers. And he stated that the people that he'd get, he'd rather have wrestlers instead of bodybuilders and big, strong-looking guys like John Cena, like Vince McMahon would get. He would rather take a guy like Dusty Rhodes or, Outlaw Ron Bass or a guy who doesn't look like they're in the best shape, or Kevin Owens, but they have all the charisma and it could still go. He would take that over any jacked up freak, and that's what's cool about him. He's like a real wrestling fan like us, and he sees it's all about the charisma and the stories you tell. So it'd be a shame if he didn't win it or if he didn't buy it, but we'll see in the weeks to come. Next news story. Tommaso, as everybody saw in NXT, turned heel, turned on his partner, Johnny Gargano, at the end when they lost to the Authors of Pain in that ladder match. He has a legitimate knee injury, which sucks because now they have to delay this whole thing, this whole feud that they set up now between these two until he gets back. And, you get to see how crazy he is. Both guys, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso, are phenomenal phenomenal storytellers, pro wrestlers, okay? And them taking each other on in a program is going to be epic. And I'm excited when that day comes. I just hope it doesn't lose a lot of steam when it finally does come, because of the time elapsing. But we'll see. So Tommaso legitimately, has that knee injury and could be anywhere from, 2 to 4 months out. So we'll see. Speaking of injuries now, another story. Braun Strowman. Okay, the beast among men, you know what I mean? The big guy. Of course, he had that elbow surgery, which is legitimate. And the whole thing was, he might be gone from up to 6 months. Of course, that is kayfabe. He is on track to a speedy recovery. It is on track to be taking on, more than likely, Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. So expect to see him back on Raw in the weeks to come. And I'm really excited about that. I am a Braun Strowman fan. He can tell a hell of a story, and for his size, he can move. So we'll see where that goes. But that's all I got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed Wrestletude with Big Daddy D. As always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time on Big Daddy D's Wrestletude. God bless.
Rocky Balboa, the Italian style.